I told LeBron James one time that I thought he had butt shots during the game. I was like,
Hey there guys, what's going on and welcome back to our channel. Kevin Hart is mostly known for his practical jokes and sarcastic stand-up comedies, but even a comedian of his reputation can spin off sometimes, making his simple jokes very offensive and disrespectful, which is also ironic because the small guy really has some big words. Now, some people may consider it as pure sarcasm, but others hold a totally opposite view. So let's not spoil all the stories or hint at any events. Here is a list of Kevin Hart disrespecting NBA players. Number 6, Stephen Curry. This case will not be considered disrespectful by some individuals, but let's keep in mind that each person has separate opinions. What I'm going to talk about is the time when Kevin Hart decided to copy Steve Curry's warm-up moves before the Philadelphia match. In this context, Steven laughed it off, but he did seem a bit annoyed, which is an indication that we don't know what kind of insecurities a person may have, so we should keep an open mind while we speak and in our actions. This was a rather subtle hint, but it was surely an act of disrespect from Kevin Hart. As we proceed further in this list, we will notice more acts by Kevin which may come off as disrespectful and rude.
There are 6 different players on your team who had more points than you. You had 1 assist.
Number 5, James Harden. We're all familiar with James Harden's anger issues. While having a rough start to a game against the Team Sixers, James Harden wasn't happy at all. By the end of the first quarter, he got to hear a mini trash talk from none other than Kevin Hart himself. Fairly enough to prove Kevin wrong, James offered one of the best performances of his career. The following conversation took place. I say, you know why you're off, because you're in my city. Your beard stinks, I hate your calves. I was saying a bunch of stuff to him. James got mad. He said, remember all of this because I'm about to cook you. I said, you're gonna cook me? Well, put me in a pot cause I'm ready to be cooked. Well, Kevin surely got cooked as James scored a staggering 51 points for his team for the win. In simple words, we can say that Kevin Hart provided the food that James needed to use.
at the end of it, when the game was over, he came over, he was like, see what you did to your city? And he said, pop, kicked him right in the shin. It was one of those moments where you immediately look for help, and I was like, ah!
Number 4, LeBron James. Being one of the most critically acclaimed players of all time, and also a fan favorite, which has gotten him the title of the greatest of all time, even LeBron hasn't been safe from facing some sort of disrespect from Kevin Hart. While spending a day with yet another basketball star, J.R. Smith, Kevin decided to pull off another joke. This time, he mimicked LeBron on how he treats and also later casting a shadow on his winning speeches, which was enough content for superfans to dislike Kevin Hart. There's been another case in reference to LeBron where Kevin told the reporters that he offered LeBron a sum of a whopping $40 million for him to join the team Philadelphia, which of course seemed disrespectful to fans if they looked ahead of the basic sarcasm.
I work hard every day. I get up, I'm in the gym, I dedicate myself.
What are you talking about, Brian? Just say guts or no guts, man. Everything don't require a winning speech. God damn.
Number 3, Kawhi Leonard. This one was kind of hilarious, but that doesn't make it any less disrespecting. While viewing the link, surely check out the facial expressions. While reviewing an interview by Kawhi Leonard at the ESPN show Get Up, Kevin Hart did not look out for the fact that he was on a live show. Neither did he hesitate to present his opinion on Kawhi's laugh. He commented, "That's not a laugh, that's an outburst," followed by mocking his laugh by copying it. Something even bizarre happened when in the next game where Kevin Hart was courtside of Kawhi's match. Kevin proceeded to land some spar punches mid-air within 5 feet of Kawhi when Kawhi went to take the ball, which left fandom of both sides in utter shock as there was no specific reason for that to take place.
What just happened?
Number 2, Charles Barkley. Now you might just think that Kevin Hart stops his tongue when it comes to former NBA players or former legends, but that's not the case. Kevin Hart has proceeded to insult the former NBA star Charles Barkley on several occasions. On the link shared above, it can be seen that when Charles proceeded to make a comment on Kevin's outfit, he didn't hesitate to come back with saying that Charles dresses like a hanger upside down, which can be a big insult for people who take pride in their clothing choices or dressing styles. In another broadcast of the talk show inside the NBA, Kevin proceeded to use a rather fat-phobic comment for Charles when Charles low-key body-shamed Kevin for being shirtless at times. Kevin called him a beanbag, which got sat in, which was an implication of the fact that Charles is big. This list of Kevin Charles roasting sessions didn't end here. In the same broadcast, Kevin also commented on Charles that he never felt what it was like to be a great player, which Charles laughed off. But let's be honest, no one would be completely okay with that comment, let alone a former NBA star.
Look at Chuck's tie.
Hey, you got enough money to get a shirt that fit, man. Stop squeezing in that medium.
Number 1, Shaquille O'Neal. Now we all know about Shaquille. In my opinion, he's the most popular basketball player ever, but what I'm not sure about is whether he's the most skillful player or not. But for Kevin Hart, Shaquille was yet another player to insult. In 2012, at the Conan talk show, Kevin proceeded to call Shaquille a Dutch woman. In his defense, that was Kevin's way of describing Shaquille properly, which in length was long legs and thin body. Well, that was about 9 years ago, so that was kind of forgotten by many people, but in 2020, when during the first wave of COVID-19, Shaquille and Kevin decided to live stream together on Instagram. Even here, Kevin proceeded to call Shaquille lipless. In a more precise manner, he called his face Big Gums with a beard. That's still not the end of this list. In 2013, Kevin decided to run a practical joke where he wore a head cap to implicate Shaquille's bald head and later labeled his head to be a big melon-like shape. At another event, Kevin joked about Shaquille's height by making him feel lonely by commenting that no one is near to his size.
Shaq don't have no lips, it's just gums attached to his beard.
These might seem to be rather small jokes or comments, but if a person has self-esteem issues or a negative body image, this can be very heartbreaking. In conclusion, it should be kept in mind that most of Kevin's comments exist once he's provoked to make them, which usually happens when jokes are made about his size. Nevertheless, he makes worse comments in comparison to what others say. Moreover, he's a petty guy, sometimes even taking extensive measures to reply to comments made years ago. Also, do yourself a favor and watch the 2 videos that are already on your screen right now, as they're just as good as this one. And with that, I'll be seeing you guys in the next video.